Hello viewer, I am Mrs. Mwangi, taking you in Business Studies Form 1. Welcome to Elimu TV. Welcome to our first lesson, where we are going to look at Introduction to Business Studies. And we start by defining the term business. The term business is used in reference to any activity carried out by an individual or an organization that is aimed at making a profit. And when we come to the activities that people may engage in, here we have activities that may be aimed at providing goods or services. And when we come to provision of goods and services, we need to know that these goods are necessary for the fulfillment of human wants. There are many human wants, and for the purpose of satisfying the wants, we need the goods and the services that are provided when a business activity is undertaken. The people who may undertake these business activities may be said to be engaged in business. And business studies revolves around three activities, and these areas or activities include production, distribution, and consumption. When we talk of business studies, it is a field of study that revolves around our everyday activities, our daily activities at all ages. And here we would even look at when a child is born. We may find that the midwifery services are offered at a cost, and the person who engages in that service is said to be in business. There are certain goods that the infant will require at birth, and these are warm clothing, and the providers are also people who are engaged in business. Before we go further, we need to define some common terms that are used in business. Some of the common terms include a term like goods. We may ask ourselves, what is a good? A good is a tangible item. That means we can touch and feel. It can be touched, it can also be felt. On the other hand, services are intangible. This means we cannot feel them. They cannot be felt. They cannot be touched. The other area that we needed to mention is about the examples of the goods and services that may be provided. We may talk of goods such as pieces of furniture. We also have exercise books that we use in the classroom. We may also give examples of services such as teaching. There are medical services which we receive from doctors, nurses, hairdressing services. We also have shoe shining services that are offered in most of the urban areas. The other term that we need to define is production. The term production refers to the creation of goods and services for the satisfaction of human needs. When people engage in the production activities, they are known as producers. So a producer is one who engages in production activities. Examples of producers include we have farmers, we have contractors, we also have engineers, and all of these are engaged in the production of goods. When we come to production, there are also people who provide. It also includes provision of services. The provision of services include areas such as medical care, services such as teaching, legal practice, banking, insurance. Thirdly, we have the term distribution. Distribution means the movement of goods from the producer to where the consumer can easily access the goods. In the process of distribution, we may have various activities that are either direct or indirect. These activities include activities such as transport, storage of the goods, insurance, and we need to move the goods from the point of production because in the final analysis, it is the consumer who needs to use the goods. So they must be moved, they must be transported. The goods also needs to be stored because the time of production and that of consumption may differ. There may be a time gap. Insurance is important in the process of distribution so that in case these goods are damaged, we can have the insurance repaying or replacing the goods. So we have quite a number of activities revolving around the process of the distribution. The fifth term is consumption, and the term consumption simply means using. At this juncture, I may make the emphasis that consumption does not necessarily mean eating. Not necessarily eating, but using the good or service. And we may give examples of a consumption activity. An example is when a student is wearing their uniform, when a student is in class and the teaching process is going on, they can also be said to be consuming the teaching service. And consumption is the ultimate goal of production. We produce goods so that they can be used, so that they can be consumed. So unless consumption takes place, then the whole process of production may be futile. When we come to business studies, business studies is a wide subject where we have integration or composition of topics from 5 subjects. These are the so-called disciplines of business studies. The disciplines are also referred to as the branches of business studies, or we may also refer to them as the components of business studies. And at this juncture, we need to study, we need to look at the components of business studies. There are 5 components of business studies, and the first of these is economics. This is the study of how human beings strive to fulfill their unlimited wants using limited resources. Human wants are numerous, but the resources to fulfill them are scarce. They are limited and are not available in abundance. The other component of business studies is accounting. What is accounting? It is the systematic way of keeping records, that is business records that are used in decision making. We are talking of keeping the records in a systematic way. They are organized and they are recorded in accordance to how they occur. Maybe at higher levels of learning in business studies, we shall be able to explain clearly what we mean by systematic way of keeping records. The other branch is office practice. And office practice is a field of study that revolves around the activities that take place in an office. There are many activities that take place in an office. For instance, we have communication. We have filing. We have clerical work. And fourthly, we have entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship is the process of identifying a business opportunity and providing the resources that are required in order to start a business. The process of identifying a business opportunity and providing the resources that are necessary in order to start a business. Then we have commerce. So this is another branch of business studies that deals with trade and aids to trade. It deals with the trade and aids to trade. So what is trade? Trade is simply the engagement in buying and the selling of goods in order to make profit. On the other hand, when we come to aids to trade, this is simply all those facilitators of trade. For trade to happen, it must be facilitated. So all those facilitators of trade, all those facilities that enable trade to take place are those that fall under aids to trade. And they include, we have 6 aids to trade. We have aids such as insurance, banking, warehousing, advertising, we also have communication. And transport. We have transport. So those are the various aids to trade. So in our lesson today, we have learned that business studies is an activity, is a field of activity that revolves around production, distribution, and consumption. And we have various branches of business studies, namely economics, accounting, office practice, entrepreneurship, and commerce. And we are also going in the other lesson to look at commerce in details, where we have the various branches of commerce, and we hope we will be able to accomplish the discussion about branches of commerce. With that, viewer, we come to the end of our lesson. Thank you.